Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Okay, so in this video we're going to be basically how to deadlift. Well, this is going to be how I deadlift and how Erin deadlifts as well. Everyone has different deadlift styles, no right and wrong, but this is how I would teach like a beginner how to deadlift. So we're starting off with the bar. We want to stand on the bar so it will cut your feet in half basically, and that's heel to toe, so in half of your foot there. Okay, so that's where the bar wants to be placed. Other than that, we also need to decide how wide we want our feet. Now what I get a lot of people to do is if you do a vertical jump, wherever you land, that's normally where you want to lift the bar from. Okay, and now the bar's cutting your foot in half. So all she's going to do now is she's going to bend down and just grab the bar. Her hands are going to place on the outside of her legs, so she's not going to hold any wider. Straighten her legs. Now what she's going to do, she's going to drop, not now, but she's going to drop the hips down whilst bending the legs, and as soon as her shins hit the bar, she's going to stand up. So you're going to drop the hips down. So that's like the basic of how you want to deadlift, is bar cutting the foot in half, standing in a comfortable foot position. So for some people they will like to stand a little bit wider. To be honest, I think shoulder width is perfect, or hip width is perfect. There are sumo style deadlifts, which we're not going to go yet. We'll go through that again. She's going to just bend down and just grab the bar, make sure your hands are literally outside of the legs. So you don't want to go any wider. Now straighten your legs, so the bar's not going to move. If you're moving the bar, you've done it wrong. So now she's going to drop the hips down, tight back. That's it. As soon as that bar hits the shin, you're going to stand up. Now cues for standing up is you basically want to imagine you're in a leg press, so you're pushing the floor away from you. As soon as the bar is past your knees, you're going to focus on driving your hips forwards, and then you'll be standing up straight. Also bringing your shoulder blades back, chest up to lock out the deadlift. So we'll try that all again. So she's going to bend down, hips forwards, locked out, shoulder. That is how to deadlift, how I would teach a beginner to deadlift. Another thing, when you're coming down, a lot of people, they start to bend their legs early and then the bar will slide out away from them. You do want to keep the bar in a straight line. So what Erin's going to do is she's going to push her hips back until the bar is past the knees, and then she can start to bend the knees. Okay, so stand so it's cutting your feet in half. Holding on the outside of your legs. You're going to keep bending your hips to hit your shins, pull, and now she's going to just push the hips back to come down, keep pushing the hips back, now bend the knees. Good job. As you can see from the side, the bar is going in a straight line. If it's not scraping your shins, if it's out in front of you, it's going to put way too much pressure on the lower back and will cause injuries in the long term. So you want the bar to go in a nice straight line, scraping up your shin. Couple reps. Now we're going to show you the don'ts. One don't is Erin's going to stand and the bar is going to basically cut her toes off. Now we're going to pick that up. Ooh, see? A lot of pressure on the back. Now she's going to stand so the bar's touching her shins to start with. See, she's rolling the bar forwards and it's a mess. not good at all. What we see on a lot of people is a rounded back, and that tends to be when it's too heavy. That is harder than it looks. That's hard to do it that wrong, to be honest. But a lot of people will find when it's that heavy, it's going to top rounded, and then all they'll be stuck with, their legs will be straight, and they'll be like, Christ, I can't get it up. And there's nowhere to go from here. So you'll just fail the lift. So that's why you want to have your legs bent. So then when you get stuck, you just got to think about pushing hips forwards and you're up. You don't have to think about trying to drag it up if your legs are straight. Before you lift, you want to engage your core. That's what's going to keep everything nice and strong, nice and solid, and avoid getting back injuries. So what you'll do is you can take your breath at the bottom, or you can take it at the top. It's where it feels more comfortable. I'm getting used to doing it at the top because I feel like I can fill up my lungs more, I can fit it into my belly a little bit more. Because when you're crunched over trying to take a deep breath, it can be a little bit more difficult. So if you're going to take a deep breath, and then all that air, you're going to push into your abs, into your core, and you're going to push around your core, and then deadlift, and then breathe out. Keep breathing at the top because that's where your core is the longest and it's easier to get oxygen in. Or you can take your breath at the bottom. So you can be down here and go. You can just play around a bit, but just make sure when you are breathing in, you are trying to engage that core as much as you can. Other things people may want is a belt. Now what this does is helps engage the core even more. By putting the belt on, you're able to push into the belt with your core. So you take the breath and then push into the belt, and it just engages the core more and makes your core a lot more solid. So when you are going really heavy, it will limit the risk of injury. So pushing the belt, then come down. You'll feel that you'll really tighten the bottom from the belt, but it does help. But I would suggest for beginner deadlifts, don't worry about the belt, just focus on technique and it will build up your core naturally. The other tips is for most people, their grip will give up. So what you can do is instead of doing the overhand grip, you could do a mixed grip. So that will be one hand under, one over, whichever way feels comfortable. And then you'd go to deadlift. And then what's more advanced is using straps, figure 8 straps, or just normal straps. Also chalk would help a lot as well if you're just using your bare hands. But again, that's more for when you are lifting a lot of weight and you don't want to rely on your grip, you just want to work on like strengthening your deadlifts really.
So if you like our how-to videos, please let us know and we can do more.
Yep.
Lewis is a qualified personal trainer.
I do know what I'm talking about, even though it doesn't sound like it, because it's hard on camera.
It is hard, but it was good.
Yeah.
Impressed. Thanks for watching.